All right, guys. So this is pretty much how I get ready for my week. So I go in here, my charts and just kind of like the whole process on how I plan for my week, right? Because if you're not planning for your week, then you're pretty much just gambling with your money, right? Whenever we trade, we want to come in the market with a game plan, right? It's literally like anything that you do. Like if you play sports, right? You practice, right? And before game day, what do you have? You have walkthroughs. So it's the same thing when it comes to trading. So I use Sundays as pretty much my walkthrough days, and then Monday is game day. So that's pretty much why. If you're not doing this, I don't know what to tell you. Now you don't have to do it the day before the market. Like some people, like Shine, if you know Shine in the chat, Shine does it that morning. So it's totally up to you. I kind of do both. So like what I do is I finalize most of my items on Sunday, and then Monday I just kind of make sure that nothing has already broke a level or whatever. And then if it broke a level, like let's say that I want to take puts under a certain level, let's say that it broke that level in the morning or like gapped below or gapped above, then I will pretty much just make an adjustment to that or decide if I'm a like is it totally out of play or do I have to look at it from a different angle or whatever and go from there. So that's pretty much that. So the first thing that I do is first, I just get on the charts, right? I look at pretty much the stocks that I have the most success on. So a lot of you guys, you should do this. This is a good tip for you guys. Um, Go to stocks that you have a good win rate with. Now, if you're unprofitable right now, that's totally okay. But there are stocks out here that you probably feel more comfortable trading, or that's a lot easier for you to manage. So like for example, I am a trader that kind of like my gains. Like I like trades that kind of work out right away. I don't really like holding and hoping too much or just holding anything too long. So stocks like Tesla will give me that type of gains, right? And it moves accordingly to my trading style. So my trading style is kind of like aggressive. So trading an aggressive stock like Tesla, that goes with the way I trade, right? So that stocks work for me, and I have a very high win rate on Tesla. So that's like one of the stocks that I'm gonna focus on, right? So basically just take stocks that work for you. So just because I'm putting out a watch list doesn't mean that you should trade just my watch list, right? If I'm showing you guys my watch list and I'm showing you guys like how like stocks that I'm looking at, that don't mean like those are the only stocks, right? You can find opportunities within whatever stock that you want to trade. You just have to make sure that you have a plan going forward with it. So that's how it works. Real quick before I get started, how many people has ever made a watch list? How many people has ever made a watch list and then you ended up trading something else just to go back and see that stock that you had on your watch list make that move that you said it was going to make? A lot of people, right? The reason why this happens is when you make your watch list, you don't stick with your watch list. You like don't see your watch list work out right away. So then you move on to the next stock or you move on to something that somebody else has been trading and might have success earlier that way, just to see your watch list end up playing out. So that's one of the key things of having your own watch list. And my rule of thumb is if it's not on your watch list, you don't need to be trading it at all. That's like my rule of thumb. So there's never a time. I mean, every now and then I might open up, but there's never a time where like I'm going to like if my watch list isn't ready, then I'm just, I probably just can't trade that day, right? So that's kind of how you want to do when you're making a watch list, right? So that's a good tip for you guys. If you miss it a lot, definitely want to stick to your watch list and make one. How many people haven't made it, like don't make watch lists? You could be honest. This is an honest room right here. How many people have like don't make watch lists? Okay. So that's something that you want to do, right? So let's get into how I make my watch list for the week. So first of all, I stick with my basket of stocks. I have a basket of stocks. You should have a basket of stocks on your own. Stocks that you like trading, stocks that are affordable to you, stocks that you can afford, right? And you want to stick to those. So like I know Tesla just split, but like let's say that Tesla was still at $1,000, right? And those contracts were like $1,000 to $2,000 a piece to get a good quality contract. If you have a $500 account, you shouldn't even be looking at Tesla at all, right? You want to learn you want to have stocks that fit your account size. Okay. So, like, for example, XPX options, those things are expensive as hell. Also, XPX is very volatile. And if you have a small account, XPX, yes, I know that it's this thing out here that XPX can gap your account up. But a lot of people don't understand. They're only looking at the reward benefits of trading XPX. They don't actually look at the risk as well. Because understand, yes, every time XPX moves up, right, you make a lot of money. But how many people have traded XPX and then the pullbacks then pretty much killed them? I know how many people have traded XPX and the pullbacks killed them. Pullbacks just blew everything, took all your gains back, or just like you were down 80% before you even know it. Right. So understand that as well. Right. So you just want to, like, yeah, you people only think about the reward, but you have to also think of the risk that's going with it. Right. So I definitely recommend, people ask me this all the time. What account size should I be trading a stock like XPX? I would definitely recommend, me personally, if I'm being on the safe side, I'm gonna say $10,000 minimum. And that's because it gives you the room to really take on those type of XPX trades. If you have an account under 10,000, I mean, yeah, you can still trade it, but it's not the same, right? It's just, you don't really allow the trade to work out the way it's supposed to, is because how volatile XPX is, which is totally fine, right? Paper trade it until you can officially afford to trade it, right? Um, I have TradingView Pro. Um, yeah, I just have TradingView Pro. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So one of the stocks that I'm looking at is Boeing. I have a pretty decent success rate on Boeing. So that's pretty much one of my go-to stocks, especially with Boeing. I like taking Boeing to the downside. Whenever I'm looking for puts, Boeing is just one of those stocks that always pop up in my mind to see if there's an opportunity, right? So that's number one. So what I do is and you guys already know this, my mentees, you already know this. We do a top-down analysis, right? So a top-down analysis means we start from the higher time frames and then work our way down. Okay. So when I'm coming on that higher time frame, all I'm looking for is to basically plot my key levels. Okay. So we're just gonna rush through here. We're not gonna go too crazy. We have a level right there, 172. Um, we have we could plot. We don't have to, you don't have to plot all of this, right? People do too much when y'all be trading, when y'all be plotting y'all levels, right? We know damn well Boeing not about to be trading back at $400 no time soon. So there's no reason for you to even waste your time on plotting all of that up there. Okay. Or even this, right? We know we're not about to catch Boeing back at 300, 250. So only focus on the area which you probably will make your trade based off of. Okay. So go here, we plotting this level right here, right? And then we're just going to keep working our way down. All right, then we come. So that's what I got from the higher time frames. I'm looking to see, do I see any pattern? Do you guys see any pattern on the higher time frames? Just to make sure that everybody on track, though. Do you see any pattern or anything? No, right? This not a bear. I'm not gonna call that a bear flag on the weekly time frame. It might be on a lower time frame, but right now, pretty much there's nothing ongoing on the weekly time frame. So right now, I just got my levels from it. So next, I'm moving down to the lower time frames. Just to speed it up, guys, I'm gonna just drop down to the 4 hour. You could go to the daily. The reason why I'm just saying is I don't want to sit here and just make levels all night. So I'm gonna just come down to the 4 hour and kind of just continue to keep my levels and kind of just seeing what I see. So first of all, one thing that I noticed is we do have a trend line right here. So when I'm looking at my trend line, we reject it here, right? We reject it here, and we reject it here, and we reject it here. Okay. There, so what makes real quick, just a quick learning point, just make sure recap. Um, how many times do a trend line have to touch to be valid? At least three. Okay, cool. So do we have three touches right here? Cool. All right. So that trend line is valid, right? So now we get into a little more advanced, right? So we rejected here, rejected there, rejected there, rejected there, and then we came back up and we broke it. So can anybody just take a wild guess on what am I probably looking for on Boeing? There we go. Great job. So I'm probably looking for a retest of what? The trend line, right? So that's exactly, if you said that, that's exactly what I'm looking for on Boeing. So we are currently rejecting I'm finna draw real quick and see if you guys get that right. We are currently rejecting a what? What are we rejecting? Key level, and this is also what? A supply zone, right? So we basically ran up, we broke out of this trend line, we hit the supply zone, and now we're selling off, right? So the move that I'm looking for on Boeing is for us to have a move back to this trend line, which will be pretty much around this area or something like that, maybe a little lower. Overall, I'm looking for Boeing to make a move down to 145, right? I know that's a huge move, but that's just like our overall picture, right? Is Boeing to make a retest of this trend line. So then what I will write down right here, this for my notes for later on. So I'm looking for Boeing retest of 4-hour trend line. Okay. So that's one of my reasons why I'm bearish, right? And we're rejecting off that supply zone. As you can see here, we came back to that zone area, rejected it twice, created this like little double top or whatever. And right now I'm looking for us to make a move back down to this 145 area. But we have our first level of support is at 157. And then if we break below 157, then we can have that move down to 150 whole number, and then 145 and so on. So um J supply or support zone resistance. So right here, this is a resistance level, but remember I told you guys, when you draw in zones, you can call it a supply or you can just call it a resistance zone. It's up whatever you want to call it. But sometimes when you try to draw just like a single level, so let's delete that. When you try to draw like a single level, you see that price kind of wicked above and then drop below, then it rejected here. So when you see price just acting like that, and it's not like rejecting at what is it called? Y'all making me tongue twisted right now. When you see that where price is not reacting to a single level, go ahead and see if a zone makes sense. Okay. So right here, look, I'm going to show y'all so y'all don't get confused. Right. Keep trading simple. I don't know who made it hard. Let's keep it simple. Okay. So right here, the stock bounced, but it actually bounced at that 173.85, right? It didn't come all the way down to this 172 level, but then it bounced here. But then when it came here, what did it do? It broke below and then it reversed back up, right? So, and then right here, we touched it and then we wicked above. So like when you see that, right, it's just best to try and see if a zone makes sense, because then that zone is just an area of significance, okay? So here we go, drawing that zone, and there you go. It just makes a lot more sense, so. So, all right, so that's what I'm looking for on Boeing. So I'm looking to take Boeing right here. I'm looking to take Boeing down to this 157 area, potentially even that 145. But right now, that's what I'm looking for. It doesn't have to respect the line. It just have, yeah, it's that zone. Yes, this is a double top as well. Real quick, how do we know that this is a double top, right? Just because it ain't pretty, how do we know? What did price do? That's not what I'm looking for. Understand the trend, guys. What did price do? There we go. Failed to make a higher high. Okay. So when we go back looking at the trends, right? Let's go draw it again. When we're looking at an uptrend, we're creating higher highs and higher lows. Okay. Okay. And we know the trend is now weakening when we cannot create another higher high, right? So then what do that means? If we refuse to make a higher high, what do that means? That means that's our double top, right? We break below And then we could eventually have a retest, right? Let me draw this a little better. I got y'all. Let me draw this a little better for you guys. Let me draw that. Hold on. It probably was a quicker way to do this, but it's okay. Now I know I'm going on my watch list, but this is also teaching points as well, just so you guys can get better at charts. All right, so here we go. We have our. Okay. I'm gonna just make big ones here. Okay. So then when price comes back down, then we can't create a higher high. That creates a what? When we can't create a higher high, that creates what? Real quick. A double top, right? So then the double top signals the start of a downtrend. So normally with the next move we have is a move through that support. Remember when that higher low right here, that is a support level, right? So then when we go draw that support level, here we go. It was resistance here, broke it, retested it, came back up, cannot break this resistance, right? And we created a double top. So most likely we're going to have a move to the downside, right? If we don't catch this move down, what will we wait on? If we don't catch this move down, what will we wait on? We will wait on the retest, right? If it retests that support as resistance, then we will come in, we will take our trade here, and then we will ride the trade down to our next target, okay? Which will be that lower low, which is that support level again, okay? That will be our target, right? All right, hopefully that made sense. But overall, we're not in the teaching moment real quick. I'm just trying to make sure. So now let's go back to the watch list. I was just trying to show y'all something really quick. Let's get back to business. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the retest of the 4-hour trend line. So now, how do I get trigger levels for Boeing? Okay. Well, first of all, I want to see what's the current level that it's at right now. Okay. So the current level that we're at right now, delete that. The current level that we at right now on Boeing is at what is this? 164.80. Okay. So I want to find out, is that a key level, right? Is this area a key level for Boeing? Is this a support? Okay, right, it is. Okay, so we want to go ahead and draw that, right? We want to plot that down as a level of significance. So what I like to do is I like to color code it, okay? So I will make that green. Green means that's my entry. So once Boeing breaks below this level, which is 164, then I can start taking my put position, right? There's two ways to trade Boeing though. So how I will personally trade it, you guys know, it depends on the market, but generally what I like to do is I like to at least break below and maybe get a retest perhaps. That way I will feel more comfortable taking this trade. But breakout traders look, you can take it as soon as it breaks below 164. So that's what I'm looking for. And I'm gonna write all of this down, guys, so you don't have to worry about if you miss what level. But my trigger for Boeing puts is under 164. That's my first trigger. 160 under 164, we could take puts. Now understand that it is a zone here because that look is price reacting to one particular level right here. Is price reacting to one particular level? No, right? So I would just go ahead and draw a zone instead of just a level. So right here is that zone. So then if we can get under this zone, then I would take it. But you could put 164. It's totally up to you. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking for on Boeing. I'm looking for Boeing under 164. Somebody says is it already under 164? Let's see. What is Boeing at? Okay, so right now it's pre-market. So right now it's at 163.82 or 84, whatever you want to say. So let me see. Okay, so in this particular setup, yeah, I'm a Capricorn. In this particular setup, right? So the current price is already below that trigger. So that trigger right there, and I'm gonna still keep it at below this zone. So basically below 164. But also, as you can tell, the best way to do it is right now. And I haven't taught this yet, but we just gonna put it here. Now you can do it below the closing price, right? So what was the close of or the low of day? The low of day. We're gonna do the low of the day. We're gonna do the low of day. Do everybody know what that means? The previous day's lows. Do everybody know what that means? Right? So what you would do is you could just take it below previous day's low. That's gonna be like the most profitable way to do it. So instead of the close, take it under previous day's lows. My bad. So the low that Boeing was on BA was 163.82. That was a low. So pretty much just set a trigger right there, set it for the green area, and then go ahead and take your trade, right? Don't be scared. If it's a loser, guys. Take the trade with the right risk. And then if we tell that it, like, let's say that we take puts, right? As soon as it break, if we start to come back above and we start seeing wicks and buying pressure, then just cut the trade. Literally, just cut the trade, okay? And then just wait for a better reentry. That's all you have to do, right? Don't be scared to take trades. I'm not, like, I'm saying y'all right now, I'm not taking the breakout. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Y'all know me. I'm not taking the breakout. So I'm gonna probably, like, it depends on how the market look. I'm probably gonna wait to see if we can get some type of, like, what I personally would like is I would like a move down and might do like a retest kind of trade. And then if we can retest that area, then I would take my trade there, because then, I would know. But it just depends. Retest, retested this zone. So yeah, okay, we can do it that way, just so nobody get confused. So let's say that we go ahead and break below the lows, the previous day's lows. So let's say we break below Friday lows, then I will probably take Boeing if we can get a retest of Friday's lows, right? So if we break below 163.82 and then we retest 163.82, then I will be comfortable taking my trade there. Did that make sense? But other than that, guys, don't confuse the triggers too much. The rule of the whole thing that we're doing right now is we just want to take Boeing under this zone, right? So go to your charts and draw this zone. What I like to do is I like to have bearish confirmation below that area. So it might not even be a retest. I just want something bearish that's telling me on the lower time frames that Boeing is ready for me to take puts. Okay. So that's my goal. So maybe we break below, create a double top. We might have literally anything. It could be a bearish engulfing. It can be, maybe a RSI if you use indicators. Maybe it's stochastics, whatever bearish confirmation that you have, maybe a death cross, you can use that as well. But that is what I'm looking for on Boeing. And I'm gonna type all of this in, so don't worry about it if you're confused. I'm gonna have levels and everything, but that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm looking for a retest of this trend line on Boeing. Okay, so next. So next is I'm looking at another stock that I have a good success rate on is Meta. So Meta is actually a very unique setup, right? So when we looking at Meta, pretty much a top-down analysis as well. But one thing that caught my eye on Meta, which is Facebook, if you don't know what that is, one thing that caught my eye on Meta is this zone here. That's something that caught my eye. Can anybody tell me what happens when a stock hits a zone too many times? Not really ranging, but what happens? So like if I'm drawing this zone right here, right? We got this demand zone. What happens, right? The more, if you don't know, right? If you miss class, this is what you want to know about zones when it comes to demand zones, supply and demand, right? So the reason why supply and demand works is because basically whenever we hit this zone, pretty much buyers got filled and drove the stock price up. So what happens is everybody did not get filled here. Okay, understand this, guys. Everybody does not get filled when the stock makes these impulsive moves up. So what happens is big money they leave their orders right here to buy Facebook back at this zone. Okay. So basically, how to make it in very simpler terms, right? Let's say that you had an order for Facebook at 153.60, right? You was like, you put in and was like, okay, guys, I'm gonna buy Facebook at 153.60. So let's say that before your order never got filled and it shot up, right? So what you're going to do is you're not going to chase, right? You're going to just let your order sit there, so next time Facebook come back, it will fill your order and go to the upside, right? So that's literally what a zone is, right? We a balance period. Okay, but understand, guys, think of that. Remember what I just said. I said, if I set up, like, okay, so I didn't get filled here, so my order is sitting here to get filled when we get back here. So what happens once I keep, when people keep getting filled every time we hit this level? What happens? More orders are getting filled, right? No, not less likely to get filled. More orders are filled. So that means by the time we keep getting to this zone, it ain't all, we didn't all got filled now. Everybody got filled. So what is most likely to happen to the zone since nobody is there to buy it no more? We break down, right? We break through. So not saying that we won't get bought up here again, but Facebook been kind of testing its zone a little bit too many times, especially with the market segment being downside. I definitely believe that, you know, next time, I definitely believe we're heading to this zone to the downside on Facebook. I definitely believe that once we hit this zone, we're going to go ahead and break below. I don't, you know, I don't know if there are any more orders, but even if we don't, even if, let's say that we do bounce at this zone, guys, I mean, we still have a lot of downside before we even get to that zone. Okay. We still have, Facebook is currently at, what is this, at 161, almost 161, right? So, I mean, we still have a move all the way down to 153, right? We still have about an $8 move to the downside. So no, regardless if we do bounce off this zone, it wouldn't totally matter because we already up 100%. Okay. But overall, I'm looking to see Meta. This can actually be this actually can be a very nice play, right? This actually, if we being honest, if you don't know, I just told my mentees, I just told the mentees the story where I told Shine to hold his trade. He was in Facebook puts on Friday, and I had told him to hold it to the end of the day, and he would have turned $700 into $18,000. So so don't, Facebook definitely can be a nice play. But other than that, that's number one what I'm looking at. So if you see right here, I drew my green line. Is this an area of significance? Is this a support level? Is this a support level? Yeah, right. So we want to take Facebook below that, right? When you guys are making trigger levels, you guys make it so difficult, right? Keep it simple, guys. Look, wherever the price is at right now, and if you see that it's stopped at a level, puts right below that level. It's that simple. Like, you don't have to complicate it. Puts right below that level, okay? Or you could take it between previous days low. So let me go ahead and show the line chart. Somebody asked me to show the line chart. If you don't know what the line chart is, guys, what I do is sometimes when candles can be a lot of noise, right? All of the wicks and all that can kind of cloud your judgment on where the actual levels are. So I just come down to a line chart to kind of give me a better, a cleaner support and resistance level, okay? And as you can see right here, there we go. That's a clean level, okay? So I'm looking to take Facebook puts under one. We can honestly, guys, I like taking it under whole numbers, but right now, you can take it below 161. I'm pretty sure it's already below it, but under 161 or just under your whole number of 160, right? And if you don't know what I mean by under whole numbers, what I mean by whole numbers is trading, you have a psych, what we call psych levels. So we have psych levels. So what we mean by that is levels that people just, their natural support and resistance. So for Facebook, your psych levels are pretty much like 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, you know, so those are your levels. So generally you can take Facebook puts under 161, or you could just take it under 160. Okay. I don't really use pivot points like too much. I mean, you can if you want to. I mean, the way I make my support and resistance levels, they end up being a pivot point, right? But also, Another thing that I'm looking at, you guys know I love trend lines, okay? So when I'm drawing my trend lines, hold on. Let me make sure that it makes sense. If it don't make sense, then it ain't there. That does not make sense. So let's try it again from a lower point. All right, so there we go. Okay, so right here, obviously we have, what is this called, guys? What is this called? Potentially, what is this called right here? A false break, right? Liquidity grab, false break, right? So just because your trend line's not going to always be perfect, we're just looking for 3 touches. So we have 3 touches, okay? So let me give y'all a quick gem, real quick, that a lot of people don't know, right? So can anybody, this is kind of, I'm not going to say all the way, this is kind of a head and shoulders right here. Let's put our candlesticks back on. This is kind of, but I want to give y'all a little game right quick. So this is kind of a head and shoulders right here. It's ugly, but I'm gonna just show y'all something that, overall I'm bearish on them, regardless if this is not a head and shoulders. But if we do want to call this a head and shoulders, let's just try it and just see if it makes sense. So here we go. We have our first shoulder, and we have our head, and then we have our next shoulder. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this right here is this is a quick little gem for you guys. You might want to put this down in your notes. Whenever you're looking at a head and shoulders, right? And let's draw an example right here. Okay. So whenever we're looking at a head and shoulders, if the shoulder cannot come back to that previous shoulder, that basically what this is telling you is sellers were not strong enough to even push it back to that high. So that's even more bearish confirmation signal. Like that's actually even more bearish than it was before. Sellers weren't even strong enough to push it back. I mean, buyers, my bad. Buyers weren't even strong enough to push it back up to that high, right? So that's telling you right there, like, okay, well, if they're not strong enough to push it back to that high, that's even more bearish, which signals a even bigger sell-off. Okay. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at that. So if you don't see, because people be always like, well, Jay, I want the shoulder to come up here. Guys, if it didn't make it all the way up there, then that means a bigger move is coming to the downside, right? Keep that in mind. Okay. So overall, that is what I'm looking for. So I'm looking to take Facebook puts under. So let me delete this and clean my stuff up real quick, because guys, some of y'all charts be looking ugly, and presentation is definitely it gets you a long way in trading, right? Clean y'all charts up. Stop. I hate when y'all be sending me y'all charts and they be looking ugly. Clean your charts up, guys. Clean your charts, please. Okay. Okay. So right now, the reason why I'm embarrassed, I'm gonna show y'all in a minute. But overall, and like I said, I'm writing all this down. So we did Boeing, and we doing Meta right now. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for Meta to break below this support level, and we have a move to the downside, right? We can have a move down to 153. Now, if we do, which I do believe that we are, not saying that nothing is 100%, but I do believe that um Meta could come down to that 140s. I definitely think we're going to break right below that this level, but we'll see. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for on Meta. And like I said, I'm gonna write all of this down so you guys can have it. But I'm looking for Meta, definitely a great trade. Okay. Y'all with me so far? They said a retest on a daily time frame. Let me see. I'll be the judge of the retest. We have a what pattern is this? I didn't even see this. This is at a resistance level. Okay. We got a bearish engulfing at a resistance level. Now, for my mentee, they're gonna like, Jay, I thought you said, oh, it has to be at the top of an uptrend. Guys, a bearish engulfing is valid at what? A bearish engulfing is valid at what? Resistance, right? That is a resistance level. Rejected here, rejected here, rejected here, broke above, came back, broke down, right? Now it's rejecting that resistance again, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't overcomplicate trading, all right? So we have a bearish engulfing on the daily time frame as well. Let me go ahead and add an indicator up here just to see. I'm kind of interested to see what the MACD is doing. Let's see. So the MACD is also, what is the MACD doing? The MACD already dead crossed already, so that's cool. like that. Momentum is shifting to the downside. Let me see what else. Let's look at the RSI. You know, you can use your indicators. Indicators come last, guys. You see how when I say, oh, I'm about to go check indicators out, and do y'all see how like those are like my last thing? Like right now is raw price action. And if I just want to look at an indicator, why am I looking at indicators? Like why would I want to add it? Why would I look at an indicator after? Extra confirmation. That's all indicators are, right? That's all it is, just extra confirmation if you need it. If you don't need it, you don't need it. Yes, the bearish engulfing is only valid at the top of an uptrend or at resistance, right? A lot of you guys trade bearish engulfings at the wrong spots and then be figuring out why they don't work, right? You want to take bearish engulfings at resistance or a top of an uptrend, which will be a resistance level anyway. Okay. Make sure that you're trading your chart patterns or anything at levels. If it's not at the levels, you're trading in mid-air and you will lose all your money. I'm trying to think, guys, which one is it? That's how I know I don't even be using indicators like that. Which one is it? Okay. Oh, that's because it keeps changing it. Okay. X that out. Okay, I see what it is now. Okay, so let's see. A little thing, I'm not gonna lie, I don't do this often. I'm just gonna tell y'all this right now. I don't do it this often, but sometimes, you know, we be having little patterns on the RSI as well. So right here on the RSI, what do we have, guys? What do we have? A break and retest. So just keep that in mind. You definitely can do that. You can do that on the RSI as well. It's pretty cool, extra confirmation. So we have a break and retest to come test these lows on the RSI back at 38. Okay. So just keep that in mind. That's a cooler thing that you can use. Like I said, I'm not big on indicators. If the indicator don't match, do you still take the trade? Yes, because indicators are just extra confirmation. Now, I would like if the indicator agrees with what I feel or what I think, but if it doesn't, that's not going to make or break my trade, if that makes sense. Now, if you're a trader that like you feel like you have to have everything lined up before you can take a trade, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. If you're a trader that's like more comfortable taking a trade if everything else lines up, that's totally fine, right? You could do that. But for me personally, indicators come last. If the indicator not agreeing with me, oh well, right? So that's that. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about Crowdstrike because that's on my watch list. So right now we got Facebook, we got Boeing. Next stock on my watch list is I gotta have my boy Tesla up here. Gotta have Tesla. Y'all know me and Tesla go back in time. You know, I've been trading Tesla for a while now. Tesla is my most profitable stock. So y'all know I gotta have my Tesla at all times. So let's go here on Tesla. But are y'all understanding like how I'm making my watch list? Like, are y'all understanding how like I'm just going through my charts, just doing the top-down analysis? I'm making sure that I'm writing down what I see. Like that's what I'm doing. Okay. So Tesla right here, it's pretty much been trading in this range, if we're being honest. Okay. Tesla been trading in this range on a daily time frame. So what I'm looking for Tesla to do is break out of this range to either side, right? We can bounce up here, go to the top, or we can bounce to the downside. Or if you want to draw a pattern, you totally can. Somebody just said symmetrical triangle. You do have that. I mean, if you think about it, guys, it's pretty much the same thing of what I just said. You know, a symmetrical triangle, the same thing. It can break in either direction. So however you want to do it, this is a symmetrical triangle as well. With the current market, I am looking for us to break down to the downside. And the reason why I'm saying this is also, this is just something that I've noticed. Don't quote me on this, but I've noticed whenever a stock does a stock split, actually, I'm gonna let you guys answer this. Whenever a stock does a stock split, what do most people do that they see now that the stock is cheaper? What do most people do? I want to see if y'all start thinking. They buy, right? And how many traders are actually successful? Well, let's put it this way. How many traders, what's the percent? Can anybody know the percentage of traders that aren't profitable? Over 90, right? It's over 90%. Okay. So let's just put this into perspective, right? if 90% of the traders are going to buy the stock as soon as it's split, what is most likely going to happen or should happen? Dump, right? It should does the opposite of what the 90% do. And that's kind of what happened. Okay. So I'm still thinking that that's potentially in play because most people are looking at Tesla and like, hey, let me buy Tesla up. I want to get into Tesla now. It's cheaper. I believe that we have some more downside on Tesla. I think we can get this 260 level on Tesla right here. We got the support here, resistance here, came back, support here, resistance. So I do think if we break, we can break down to 260. So that's what I'm looking for on Tesla. Also, when we're looking at our uptrends, guys, what do we do right here? What do we do right here in this area? What did it do? What happened? Failed to go higher, right? We failed to make a higher high, okay? So I'm still looking for more downside on Tesla. Just overall, this is a nice daily candle right here as well. It doesn't look like we're about to hold. Tesla do look like we can break to the downside to around that 260 area. So be looking out for Tesla. So I'm looking to take Tesla below, what is this right here? Let's see what this level is. Let me go to my lower time frame, like the 1 hour. We are already breaking down on Tesla. Let's see. So we have a zone first. Let's get below this zone, okay? What is this? 280. So I'm looking to take Tesla below 280. So we want to take Tesla below 280. Like I said, I'm gonna have all of this charted, but we do have a zone right here. We've got bought up a couple of times in this zone, so this zone could be getting weak. So right now, I'm just looking to see what we do in this zone. This is about a $4 zone, which is typical for Tesla. So Tesla below 280, we can't have a move down to that 260 level. Yeah, with me? Cool. All right. So Tesla, so how I would write that down in my notes and I would show you, I would say, I'm basically going to write down what I see, right? Tesla rejecting that resistance level, right? Rejecting that resistance level, failure to make higher highs. I'm literally going to just plot down every single thing that I see to support my reasoning, right? So I would say this is how you make a watch list, guys. You put it's like a research, right? You're doing like a research paper, okay? So we're doing like a research paper, right? So we're going to put down our notes. We're making our notes. So we got failed to make higher high. What else? We have a symmetrical triangle, one-day time frame. We have a they just had a stock split, so we know that we got a little fundamentals, as you can say, with that one. We have a stock split. We have a very bearish daily candle, bearish 1-day time frame candle, right? What else? Let's see what we have on the lower time frames. What else we have? Like, you just come in here and just make reasonings for your trade, okay? Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much all I have for that one. Now somebody just asked a great question. So they said, wouldn't that be shorting a demand zone? Keyword. That's why I said I'm taking it under that zone, right? If I were to take Tesla now, I'm going to be taking it in that zone, which is kind of risky, rather than I wait for it to break out and maybe do like a retest or something like that. Okay. Are you having another mentorship before the year end? I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I might have like a wait list or something, but I'm not sure. And the reason why I'm saying this, I'm not here. You guys know I don't like to sell things. When it comes to me, if you take my mentorship, the thing about me is I'm kind of like a perfectionist. I kind of got like have things right. So I'm not the type of mentor that, I'm gonna charge y'all for 1 month, teach you, and if you don't understand stuff, then just let you go. I kind of just like to stick with my mentees until they fully understand it. So like the current mentorship that I'm doing, we've been in this mentorship since February. And then we had another one that joined in with the previous mentorship, and like it probably won't end till like next year. Not even gonna lie to you. So I will let you guys updated about mentorships, but right now I don't have anything right now. The current one, we are actually kind of already done a little bit. Right now, we're just recapping and just making sure that they're, getting better. Yeah, basically, like that's really what it is. My mentee's not about to go out here in this trading world and then be losing and then trying to say that they learn from me. No, sir. If you learn from me, you're gonna be profitable one way or another. If I gotta come sit with you in your house until look, if I gotta do that, I gotta do that. You feel me? So, but okay, so that's that, right? So next, pretty much, I told you guys what I'm doing for next year. If you can make your way to Texas, I'm gonna see if I can get a one opened up. Because I know the first location is going to be in Dallas. I'm gonna try to get one in Houston as well. But if you know what I said over the weekend, I'm doing I'm opening up my headquarters, right? So if y'all know, I'm with Blueprint, but I also have my Profits First thing that I have my mentorships or whatever. And if you come through Dallas Monday through Friday, I will let you guys know when it's ready. But if you come to the headquarters Monday through Friday, whenever we're trading, I will be at the headquarters, and for free, you can just come sit and just trade with us for the day. That'll be pretty cool for people that got that extra time to come to the headquarters and kind of just trade with us. I'm also going to be doing tours. I'm about to be going on tour sometime starting next year, where I'm gonna be in different cities, and I would let you guys know, and you can kind of pull up there as well, and go from there. It's gonna be in Arlington, the headquarters. They told me I'm a whole music artist, but no, it's gonna be in Dallas, Texas. I just got approved for the building, guys. So just give me time. It ain't ready yet. I just got approved. Okay. So what time frame? So for me, you know, the time frame, what happens is okay. So let's say that, and this is kind of like getting into detail. A lot of you guys already know this though. I don't know why I'm repeating this, but overall, guys, what I like to do is if we're breaking down in this zone on a 1 hour time frame, then when we come down to that 15-minute time frame, it should be like a break and retest. So let me just put that in perspective for the mentees that don't show up to class, because I know y'all the ones that's asking, the ones that don't show up to class. Okay, so this is what people need to understand when I'm talking about multi-time frame analysis. So let's say that this red line right here, is a support level. Okay, so let's say that we have this candle right here, right? This is our hourly candle. So I'm about to draw it the best I can for you guys. Okay. All right, do everybody see my candle? Do y'all see this candle right here? Okay, so this is the 1 hour time frame. So we're gonna label this right here. I'm gonna label this 1 hour time frame. Okay. Damn, I hate trading you so much. Okay, stop. All right, so this is the 1 hour time frame, right? So what I mean by multi-time frame analysis, what happens is a lot of you guys, you do trading wrong, right? And that's okay. You learning, right? So if this is the 1 hour time frame candle breaking below this red support, let me just put it right here for the people that's going to be acting kind of slow. Okay. All right, so that's our support level. Okay, so we have that 1 hour time frame candle breaking below that support. What a lot of traders do is they say, Jay, it's under support. They go ahead and take it just to get shooken back out, because on the lower time frame, price action is doing this. So that wick is this. So we had that break below, and now that wick is coming back up, right? Let me draw this over real quick. Hold on. Let me move this. Let me move it over a little bit. Guys, I'm about to help you guys. So this is the 1 hour candle. Stay with me. Don't get confused, right? This is the 1 hour candle that we're looking at. So it's breaking below that support on the 1 hour, right? So then On the 15-minute time frame, this is what's happening. So we broke below that support and we stopped here. And now we're wicking back up. Okay. So what most traders do is they're taking it here, right? Because they're like, Jay, it broke below, right? And they taking it here. Then when it moves up again, they're going to sell, right? Because they see price moving back up. They think that it's bouncing. And then what happens is it ends up retesting that level and breaking back down, which then creates this low and we close below. And the next hourly candle end up being something like this. Then now we fully below that support. So that's why it's fully understanding, guys. It's best to, when it comes to trading, it's best for multi-time frame analysis. Do that make sense? So instead of you guys taking a breakout, that's why I don't like breakouts, right? It's because on the lower time frame, this is common, right? We break below support, we retest it. So my entry is here. So that way I don't get shooken out and my stop loss is right above. Do this make sense? This is the 1 hour time frame, and then this is what it looks like on the 15-minute. So what we're doing is we're looking into candlesticks, right? We're looking into candlesticks. Okay. So here we go. We have that. So that is this. This move right here is this on a 15-minute time frame, right? That's this move, right? You have to understand that is what this candle looks like on a 15-minute time frame once it's fully formed. So that's why it's important to use multi-time frame analysis in your trading. Do you care if the next candle, do you care if the next, I don't even know what that means. Hold on. Do you care if it's the next candle after closes below the retest, or do you want to see a move then the back up? I want to see a move then the push up because that's just my strategy, right? If you bought below here, if you bought here, that's totally fine. Just understand that retests are common, right? The market moves in waves, guys. So it is common. Like, that's why I don't like breakouts, because it's so common for a stock to break below and then retest. The market moves like I don't think people understand. They want the market to move like this. Okay. The market's not going to move like that, right? The market moves in waves like this. Okay. So you have to understand, when a stock breaking a level, most likely is going to retest. Now, what happens if I'm waiting for a retest and then the market just keeps going? We just move on, right? A lot of you guys feel like, oh man, I missed the move. Guys, I can tell you right now, I've been trading for 3 years. It's opportunities are going to come. Trust me, I've missed out on so much money. I've missed out on so much money, right? You're not going to catch all of the money, right? There's going to be another opportunity. If you miss SPY, there's going to be enough opportunity, right? How long do the retests take? I mean, we don't know, right? You just have to let price action wait. Don't try to time the retake. Like, we don't know how long it will take to retest. I guess it just depends on the time frame. But we'll get more into that overall. But that's what I'm just trying to get you guys to understand. You know, I rather multi-time frame analysis. If you're not using multi-time frame analysis, like I said, I'm being very aggressive with this. You suck. If you don't use multi-time frame analysis, you suck at trading. You'll never be good at trading. That's just me personally. You could take it how you want to if you don't. Okay. Somebody said, who just asked the question? Oh, can multiple retests occur? Yes. Okay. So that's a great question. So sometimes you would get something like this, right? You would get a break below that support. Boom. Retest again. And then break, right? You will get multiple retests. That's totally fine, right? That will happen. And I know that it sucks, right? Because if you took the retest, I know, and I know this is common. I hate when it happens, but it happens. It's trading for you. You will have something like this where it retests 2 times, create a double top, and then go lower. So that's why I tell guys, like, if you buy your trades at the right time, remember, where is your stop loss on this trade? Great question, Brandon. What is your stop loss on this trade? Above that high, right? Above the retest area, right? So as long as it didn't break above that area, then you still in this trade. Even though, yes, I know that it sucks. Even though you was up $1,000 here just to see it bounce back up, and then it took all your gains back. As long as it's still there, that's totally fine, right? Just hold that trade, maybe even enter again, right? Enter again. Okay. You can add more here if you have it, right? But as long as it didn't break above, there's no reason for you to get out this trade. And what I mean by break above, I told you guys how I like to do my trades. We have things called liquidity grabs, okay? So if I get a smaller time frame, that's why all of this comes down to all of this comes down to my trading is break and retest. Because guess what? I'm about to really break it down to y'all real quick, okay? So let's say that let's say that this is a 15-minute time frame, right? So now let's go look. This is why multi-time frame analysis is so important. Okay. So let's say that this is a 15-minute time frame where we have this double retest, and then we have this move up, right? And then we break back below. How do I know not to get shooken out? Well, because if I know that it's a full reversal, is if that 5-minute time frame does what? Does what? If that 5-minute time frame does what? How do I know it's a reversal? If the 5-minute time frame does what? Or the 1 minute, whatever time frame? A retest, right? Because if it's a true breakout, it's going to have a break. It's going to retest on the lower time frames, and then it's going to bounce. But on here, this is what happened here. So what happened here on the 5-minute time frame, it just broke above just to come back below, right? So that's why it's best to watch those lower time frames, or it might just wick. That's a good one. It might just wick, right? So that's why it's best to use those lower time frames to determine, because where do reversals happen first, guys? What time frames? The lower time frames. The lower time frames tell you a reversal first. How many of you guys took one of my trades, and as soon as I said sell, if you tried to hold a little longer, it just went crazy? How many of that happened to you guys? If you try to hold a little longer, it just like went crazy. That's why, because I'm on that lower time frame. Somebody said most of the time. Damn. Look, guys, I swear I'm probably one of those. I'm probably not, and I'm not coming for nobody, but I'm one of those traders. If you're following my trades, I'm going to tell you to sell before I sell. Okay. So like, if you ever get to a point where you feel like, you took my trades and I just hurried up and dumped it on you guys, I promise you, I always tell you guys to sell before me. Always. But anyways, okay. So that's that. But let's stick on the watch list, guys. But like, my bad if you took my trades and the thing reversed. I ain't do that one. I ain't had nothing to do with that. It just sometimes it just be happening a little too quick. You gotta have those post notifications on real quick. But that's also the reason why I rather teach you guys how to trade. That's just me personally. I rather teach you guys to trade because of stuff like that, right? The way I try to teach my mentees is, guys, yes, you can, if you want to follow some of my trades, that's totally fine. But I want my mentees to be able to look at the charts themselves and know, like, okay, yeah, Jay probably about to get out right here. That is my whole goal of trading, right? I want them to be able to, like, yeah, if they take my trades, that's fine, but they know when to get out. Like, actually, I've been doing that, and they probably don't like me because of it, but it'd be times where I would tell Blueprint to sell, and I won't tell my mentees to sell, and I just come back and say, yeah, did y'all win? And they're like, no, you didn't tell us to sell. I'm like, bro, yeah, I know to sell, bro. Yeah, I know the charts. But it's all good, though. It's all a learning process, okay? But overall, so let's go back to the watch list. But yeah, I always say how to sell before me. That way I make sure that everybody get filled. Okay. I noticed that. Look, y'all, look. Y'all supposed to be watching the charts with me, man. Cause sometimes I don't be telling y'all to sell. I'll be hoping that y'all already know to sell. Like, in the back of my mind, I'll be like, they know to sell right here. They know to sell. We didn't have all these damn classes. They know to sell. But it's okay. Okay, so right now we done went over Tesla, we went over Boeing, and we went over, what is the other stock? Meta. So my last stock for my watch list is Crowdstrike. And I always, right now, these are just my top four. Um, I always find different plays, in the mornings or something, and just like make sure I add to my watch list. But right now, my favorite trade of the week is Crowdstrike. Um, I definitely, when I was waiting on this Crowdstrike play for a while now. If you remember, I've been waiting on Crowdstrike for about 2 weeks now. I've been waiting on Crowdstrike for about 2 weeks, so it definitely looks ready now on Crowdstrike. So it's not drawing. I'm just drawing stuff right now. Okay, so number one on Crowdstrike, I'm looking to take Crowdstrike. I'm really looking to take Crowdstrike all the way down to these lows. Like I'm definitely seeing Crowdstrike back at that 135 level. I know that's crazy to some of you guys, but I do think Crowdstrike can make a move to 135 in the next month or so. So keep that in mind. If you don't remember, and if you think I'm crazy, guys, I just want to show you a trade that I said, the exact trade like this. I'm about to show you an example of it. If you guys took this trade with me, this one right here. How many people took CVX with me? That one time we had it, we took CVX. They thought it was crazy as hell when I said I think CVX coming to that 151 level. We caught it all the way down here. Okay. So when we go look at CrowdStrike, I'm looking at pretty much that same kind of setup a little bit. Maybe not as clean. I mean, it's literally the same thing if we really put it that perspective. Okay. So pretty much like I really believe that that low is going to be met. Right. Okay. So that's one of the things that caught my eye on CrowdStrike. Also, with CrowdStrike, we have when I go to my line chart, pull the line chart up. Y'all be scared to pull it up. Okay. Another thing I noticed with CrowdStrike is I do believe that this is potentially a liquidity grab right here, and we couldn't create a higher high, which created a what? If we couldn't create a higher high, what did we create? A double top, right? So right now, I think we have a liquidity grab above, created a double top. I do think CrowdStrike is bearish, extremely bearish on CrowdStrike. But like I said, guys, I don't know nothing that the market is going to do. I have no clue. I don't know that CrowdStrike is going to win, but my risk reward is there if I believe that CrowdStrike is going to win, right? And that's just how I trade. Right now, if this is a legit double top, guys, what is the magnet? What I've taught you guys this so many times. What is the magnet target? The neckline, right? Which is here. So right now we know that we can get a $10 drop on CrowdStrike. I know that is out the bag, right? We might see that tomorrow, honestly. Now, the only reason why I'm not that 100% on CrowdStrike is just because they have earnings on Tuesday. Now, if you've been trading for a while, sometimes the charts will let you know earnings before it even happened. Like before Facebook made that huge drop on earnings, they were in the bear flag. JP Morgan was also in the rising wedge. So I'm not saying like that it won't work or whatever, but overall, guys, I do believe that CrowdStrike can make that move down. But like I said, I do think we might be down $10 tomorrow. So that's pretty much like why I like CrowdStrike. That's I've been waiting for it, and I think now was a great opportunity to take it. And also, guys, we are in 9/16s. So let's just say, and let's hope that this does not happen, but let's just say that CrowdStrike ends up having a flat earnings or moving up barely, right? We have 9/16 expirations, so those aren't going to get killed anyway. Okay, so understand that as well. So we can see, but who knows, guys? I literally don't know. I do think the market is down pretty bad right now, and I'm gonna go show y'all in a minute. But overall, I do think right now we can get 184 as a magnet on CrowdStrike. So I'm looking for CrowdStrike to be at 184 tomorrow. If not, we can make our move down there. And then I'm looking to really sell this trade. Let's see. A good level to take profits on Crowdstrike is right here at that 168 level, 169, 170. So I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm kind of in Crowdstrike to win it all. So I'm not gonna lie to you, this trade might not be for everybody, but I'm in here for the move, right? If I gotta play through earnings, I'm gonna just do what I gotta do. And if I lose, I'm gonna lose with pride, right? But it is what it is, right? I definitely like the charts. I wouldn't have traded it. Y'all see what I see, right? So y'all know that I'm not just saying, oh, I'm not being stingy with it. Y'all see what I see, right? There's a great risk reward. I'm a risk to reward trader, guys. If the reward to my risk is there, I'm in there all the time, right? So get from there. But also, let's go to the lower time frames. Let's see what we have on the lower time frames. We were having this little uptrend or whatever you want to call it. We were having this uptrend. Hold on, I had this drawn so differently. Hold on, guys. Hold on, I gotta figure out where I had this uptrend at. Oh, here it is. So I have my uptrend here on Crowdstrike. So as you can see, we started this uptrend bouncing off the trend line. Damn, hold on. We bouncing off the trend line, and then we eventually broke below, and then we retested it. Pretty similar to our SPY trade or XPX, however you want it. Pretty similar to here. So if you look back at our XPX trade that we took, right here, we did the same thing. So when we're putting it next to chart to chart, if we go here, we can put it side to side. So this is XPX, and then let's pull back up Crowdstrike. Okay, so when we pull back up Crowdstrike, okay, so pretty much kind of the same kind of trade if we looking at it. And you see how SPY made that move all the way down. I do believe that Crowdstrike can make that move down to around that 184 level. So solid. Is it better to buy a contract with a strike further out from your predicted strike price? I buy contracts based off of what I personally feel that the stock price can go to, or also depending on the volume and the open interest. So Crowdstrike, the way I found my strike price was what I think that the stock price is going to, and I think that is going to go to 160. So I bought it. Yeah. So overall, all the time frames are lower. Could you break down the debit spread you took on Crowdstrike 160? Did your contracts execute since the price? Yeah, my contract's executed. The reason why I bought a debit spread is because the risk to reward. I keep telling you guys, I am a risk to reward trader. If the reward to my risk is there, I'm going to take it. Those contracts, I bought them at $48. They can go all the way to $900. I like that reward, that risk to reward. I'm risking $40, $48 per contract to make potentially up to $900 per contract. So to me, that's kind of a no-brainer. Oh, as far as buying out the money, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the only trade that I will buy out the money or something crazy like that. Buying out the money is not recommended all the time, right? You want to buy at the money or at least close to the money, especially in the market we're in right now, because right now it's a lot of chop. Weeklies has been, if you buy weekly contracts, they've been kind of being destroyed. So like I would definitely recommend, going buying some time out. As you can see, I bought some time with these contracts, and I'm gonna just like hold them. My goal is to hold. I didn't buy Crowdstrike for a quick move. I bought Crowdstrike for the long-term play down to that 160 area. So that 160, 170 area. So that's kind of like, I don't think people understand. If you look at my expiration, that's kind of like the move that I'm waiting for. But yeah, this is a different trade. This is a totally different. Crowdstrike is not my typical trade. Just put that in mind. So if you ever don't do that, don't do what I just did. That's not a typical trade. The reason why I went that far out the money was because I bought debit spreads and I think I see a bigger move and I bought time. That's the only reason. Do not go that far out the money. Yeah, like this is like an Asher kind of trade, right? It's not really my kind of thing. Um, Yeah, I bought with time. My intentions are to hold Crowdstrike through earnings and get that 160 move that I'm looking for. Yes, I only do debit spreads on Robinhood. I do them on TOS every now and then, but Robinhood, they just look a little better to me. And Robinhood is actually my debit spread account. So I made an account just for debit spreads for you guys. Yeah, this will be on my YouTube. The 3K account challenge is pretty much back at break even. I was getting chopped up, very transparent with 3K account. I was getting chopped up all week on I was doing good on Monday, then I kind of just was like getting chopped up on my games. So it's back at break even. I think we're up like $6, which unfortunately that sucks. But it is what it is, guys. It's a part of trading. As long as we're not blowing the account, as long as we're taking smart trades, it's totally fine. We understand that last week was choppy. Now that we can clear some of that chop a little bit, we can trade a lot better. Okay. Um, did I swing SPY? I swung XPX. I swung XPX. Bought the contracts on XPX for about $400 per contract. And last time I checked, they were almost $22,000 per contract. So let me go look at it again. The contracts are let's see. I bought them at 400 something. Yeah, I didn't mean 20,000. If we wouldn't be on live right now if those contracts was $20,000. I can tell you that now. I can tell you that right now. If them contracts was 20,000, I would not be on live. There's no watch list tomorrow next week. So yeah, the contracts are still sitting around that they actually dropped a little bit. So they're right now at $1,670 per contract. So it's kind of cool. I bought them at $400, so I'm already up a pretty decent amount for tomorrow. Hopefully we get that move, keep continuing down. Overall, with next week we read. I mean, I don't know. I mean, overall the charts, it do look like we coming down to that 399 level, or that 400. Let's see. We have a couple levels to the downside. Let's see. We got to break under this level though, which we already low key broke under it. This 405 level, we already broke under it already, but just want to hold below that level. So right now we want to stay below this 405 level, and then we can continue our downside. I do believe that we're going to be pushing down back to that 400 or that 399 area. Honestly, guys, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not trying to be too bearish, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get SPY all the way back down to this 394, even potentially, 394 is kind of like my biggest target, the 394. But we also have some more targets to the downside, like 390. What's this one? What is this? 386. We have a couple of targets to the downside. The biggest one is that 380. So just in general on the market, I'm not saying now tomorrow. Hell no. If the market is down to 394 tomorrow, that would be wild. It's like that would be wild. It's like we will be up so much tomorrow. That would be crazy as hell. If SPY drops to 394 tomorrow, oh man, I probably would be done trading for the year. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would have to take off for the rest of the year. That's over $1 million some dollars. Like that, I would have to. Okay, so ain't giving none of that back for sure. Y'all keep on saying I'm lying. Let me hit $1.6 million on the trade. Y'all won't hear from me for the rest of the week, maybe month, maybe a year. Honestly, I might just fall off the map for a little bit after hitting that big. If I hit 1.6 million, I'm definitely gonna break bread with the mentees. I got y'all. Definitely gonna break bread. I'm gonna just fly all my mentees out to Hawaii with me for sure. If I ever, y'all can quote this. If I ever hit $1.6 million on a trade, I'm gonna fly all my mentees out to Hawaii with me. 1.6 million. Like, I mean, that's man. They talking about Blueprint. It's 16,000 members in Blueprint. I don't know if I try. I'm gonna go broke trying to bring in a whole Blueprint. Hawaii probably can't even fit all of us. I don't even know like that. I don't know about it's 16,000 people in there. We can go to like Houston or something. They better call Isaac or something on that. We gonna have to rent a damn somebody literally rent out a damn stadium or something to fit all them in there. They talking about some Houston two pack. I'm saying, but Houston we can rent a whole plot of land. I mean, we wouldn't even be able to stay in the hotel. Just rent a plot of land. Just everybody bring sleeping bags. Just rent out a plot of land. No, I got you. But other than that, that's my watch list. I will put down a PDF file sometime today or maybe in the morning to kind of like update you guys. But that's kind of really pretty much. And also what I do is real quick before I let you guys go. Also on certain stocks that I'm looking at, I come over here and I kind of just type in that ticker. So let's go here. So I type in Crowdstrike on Yahoo. I'm using Yahoo Finance. And then I would just look at some of the conversations, kind of seeing what people were looking at. So like for example, like just I'll be looking at stuff like this. Like somebody said, my target remains 350. You obviously suck. Massive orders are coming in at close, huge volume, large institution on the move again. So I kind of like to see what retail thinks. Retail thinks that we're going up, so that gives me more confirmation that we're going down. Also, like looking at the company outlook, you need to think free, but overall, just looking at the summary, just kind of seeing what's going on, any news about the stock or whatever, like little news like this, I just read it or something like that. Just see if anything significant is going on. I'm not really a news person. So like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you guys. Like I literally don't look at news too much. But I mean, overall, sometimes you can, right? Look at the news and read. Sometimes you might find some stuff that you actually like, right? Um, you might see some stuff that you actually like on here. Also, and I just do that. So like I go to Boeing, right? Looking at some news on Boeing, kind of just seeing, what's going on, you know, looking at some news, right? Just kind of seeing where it's coming from, right? And just seeing if I can see anything that stands out, anything that can probably, affect the company's revenue, perhaps. That's really what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for news, I'm looking for anything that can affect the company's revenue, right? Because I literally, bro, some of y'all say the weirdest stuff in the chat. Y'all be like, what the hell y'all be saying? Yeah. Somebody says something about Facebook. I forgot what it was. It was the dumbest thing ever. Like it had nothing to do with the company's revenue. I think they said something about, I don't even remember what y'all said. Something about I think the virtual reality ban is being recalled or something. Like some dumb crazy. Like do y'all think Facebook about to fail because y'all think Facebook about to fail because they gave out a plastic ban? They got to recall and give out new ones. Like it just be like, I need stuff that's actually physically affecting the company. Okay. Or like, for example, like a trade that I took that was actually a very nice trade. I caught like 500% on DoorDash. And one of the ways that I did it was the charts were obviously bearish as well. But I also seen on the news that the CEO had sold a lot of shares like a couple weeks prior, right? And so that's kind of like, why is the CEO selling shares, right? They obviously think that it's going to go down. Also, if you don't think that that works, look at NVIDIA. uh Ark and Kathy, whatever her name is, they had sold like millions of dollars of shares of NVIDIA right before earnings. NVIDIA popped on earnings. Well, no, they dropped on earnings, recouped a little bit, and then tanked lower. So like you got to also look at stuff like that can Pelosi, whatever her name is. I don't mean news that much. I don't mean know their name. They all look alike to me. But so then I noticed that. So that was another reason why I was bearish on NVIDIA as well, because I seen her sell shares, regardless of what just happened in the short-term price movement. Right. So then I do that. Also, seeking alpha is pretty good. Looking at more news here. I mean, looking at top stocks, stories, or whatever, that's totally fine. So, wow, they do look alike, bro. I'll tell you, they look alike. Um, then another thing is I come to market watch upgrades and downgrades. I don't do this that often because I have my own basket of stocks that I look at. So I don't really have to do this, but sometimes this do help. Like, for example, Zoom was downgraded. So, like, that can kind of mean that the stock can come down. But like I said, that's very rare that I come over to news sometimes. I've just never been a news type of trader. I'm on the charts pretty much, but it's always cool to look at news if you can have news supporting it. So all the epic report the market. I wouldn't say something moves the market more than the others. Obviously, when the Federal Reserve come out, certain things that they say definitely can have a huge impact on the market. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not about to sit up here and try to teach something that I don't even use myself. If you're a person that's into like the economic reports or like balance sheets or any of that stuff, follow my boy Mr. Lawrence on Instagram. Follow him if you want to know anything dealing with like fundamental wise. That's his thing. He's really good at fundamentals. Actually, I'm gonna give y'all a quick gem on how do I even do fundamentals. Whenever fundamentals come into the play, I go see what Lawrence is saying. Whatever he's saying, I'm going with it. That's just me. Not saying oh, I got to do that, but whatever he's saying, I'm just going with it. That's my trading team, right? I have like a team of people that I can kind of trust, right? And it's always good to have that. So I trust Lawrence when it comes to fundamentals. He even said it himself. He was like, the video gonna drop. So there you go. I'm input. So like it's like, that's just me personally. So but that's the fundamentals guy. That's not me. Now, anything about charts, anything about technical analysis, I'm the guy for that. But like I said, I'm not going to try to teach something that I'm not good at. The deeper I get into trading and studying good traders, the only difference between great traders and cool traders, the great traders don't give about anything. They going to take the trade. And if it goes, they cut it. Yep, that's literally what I do. Like, and I'm not considering myself a great trader. I just think that, I put in my work and I'm reaping the benefits right now of the work that I've been putting in. And what I do is I just take the trade. Like, I don't know. Like when I signal trades, guys, I don't know that it's going to be a winner. I literally don't know. It's a probability game to me. I'm taking the trade, and if it's a loss, I'm gonna cut my losses. I'm gonna move on to the next trade. Like, too many people hesitate. That's why I created the acronym TTDT. Take the damn trade. If it's a loser, it's a loser. You'll be all right. How do you recover from big losses? Well, actually, I'm glad that you asked that. Somebody asked me, how do I recover from fake losses? I mean, not fake, my dumb self. I was trying to read two things at the same time. How do I recover from big losses? Well, number one, I don't take big losses. That's number one. Okay. I don't take big losses. And I know that's probably hard to believe, but I don't, right? I cut my losses and then I make it back the next trade. I don't take big losses. Now, there are times where I do break my rules and I take big losses, but naturally I'm very disciplined when it comes to my trading. I don't take big losses at all. You've seen my TradeZella stats. How many people use TradeZella? How many people use TradeZella here? I'm on the list. Okay. So if you use TradeZella, if you know that TradeZella shows you your stats, right? And pretty much it shows you your average winning trade to your average losing trade, right? Based off of whatever time frame that you gave it. And if you guys notice on my TradeZella stats, my wins are about $10,000 and my losers are like I think like 1,000 something. Like last time I checked, it was like 1,200 to 1,000. So if you notice, for pretty much for every trade that I win, I make about 10,000, and for every trade that I lose, it average about $1,000 or less. Okay, so understand, guys, when I don't take big losses, I cut my losses and I move on. Right. TradeZella is a great app that you guys can use. It's a wait list for it, but it's great. It's like $400 a year, but it's totally worth it. The thing I like about TradeZella is you can't cap. Like, a lot of people, when they get into trading, they try to lie their way out of trading. They try to lie their way into this game. TradeZella, you cannot cap your stats. Like, you can't go in there and post fake stats, none of that. it literally, like, whatever it says is that's what it is, right? If you're not profitable, it's going to tell you it's not profitable. You're not profitable, right? So that's why I tell people I like to show stats instead of just profits all the time, because those stats are really going to show you, like, because I can post you guys a $20,000 win. I can post a $20,000 win, right? But if I can win 20,000, but let's say that behind closed door, I win 20,000, then, but I'm really losing, I'm really losing $40,000 behind the door, right? That's where JSLA come in, where it's showing you like, no, this guy won $20,000 and his next loss was like less than $1,000, right? That's what I like about it, okay? And that's how my trading works, right? So keep that in mind. Now, like I said, now as far as big losses, the way I recover from big losses is, number one, if you took a big loss, you messed up, not the market. You did something, right? You did something wrong, which occurred that big loss. So number one, while from recovering from a big loss, you have to realize you're the problem. You did it. So now you need to analyze what you did wrong. Did you size too much? Did you break any of your rules that you set in place? Then when you should realize that, then you realize that, okay, I messed up. And now you need to know that that's number one that you need to fix. Then understand, guys, trading is going to be here. It's not going anywhere. I keep telling people this. One of the traders that I like, his name is Rake Trades on Instagram. He says something that was really key. He said, a lot of you guys trade like your life ends tomorrow. Like, you got to have that trade. You got to YOLO that trade. You have to do that. Like, everybody feel like, man, if they didn't get in on Friday, everything is gone. Like, no, guys, the market is never going anywhere. This isn't no Cash App scheme where you got to put $50 in here and do that. Look, whatever that is, this is not none of that. It's none of that, right? This is going to be here for years. It's not going nowhere. So understand, if you take a big loss, take it and just move on, right? It's going to be another day. You're going to get out of it, right? You're going to get your losses back if you stick to the rules. And once you take a big loss, guys, you can't try to go get that loss back right away, right? You can't go get it back. You have to slowly grind your way back up, build your confidence. So, like, one of my biggest trades was NVIDIA, right? I lost $52,000 on NVIDIA. That was like my very, very first big trade. It was like 50,000 something, right? So I lost $50,000 on NVIDIA. Instead of me trying to go back and try to overtrade and get my $50,000 back, I started sizing down again and building my confidence back up to get back to that point. And I ended up getting my loss back within that next month, right? Also, another big trade I took was I lost $86,000 on Tesla. That hurt a lot because I full ported the account and I lost the whole $86,000 overnight. And instead of me trying to, like, I was obviously upset about it. I went on a little loser streak or whatever. But the way I was able to I actually got that back extremely fast. I think I got Tesla back in like 2 weeks. And the reason why I got Tesla back in like 2 weeks, I remember it was 66 or 80. It was a lot. Like, it was over 50 there. It was over $50,000. It was my biggest loss I ever took in the market. Okay. I don't even remember. I got to go back and look. I don't even like to remember. But I pretty much what I pretty much did was I recovered that fast as hell. Like, I recovered Tesla, but I didn't overtrade to get it. I was just trading my same way. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And boom. What was the trade? Cat or Crowdstrike? It was some that was like a 70K win. It was like 1,000, 1,500%. It was Cat, right? So that's what I'm saying. I turned $5,000 into like 70 grand and got all my money back. Okay. So, like, that's why I tell people, like, stick to the program, right? Stick to your daily program, stick to what you know, right? Yeah, something like that. I'm gonna look at Cat too. Cat is on my watch list. I'm not the best trader. I think I'm a decent trader. I just like that the work that I put in is now starting to show. And then the traders that's been kind of like half-assing it, you see those traders having a lot of trouble trying to find consistency in this market. It's kind of like this market. The thing I like about this market is it's definitely like make or break for a lot of you people that don't want to put in the work. Like I told you guys, you can half-ass in life, your relationships, you can do whatever. You can cheat, do all that. But when it comes to trading, there's no shortcuts in this. No. Do you remember the trade that it all clicked for you Um, I mean, the trade that changed my whole life was a Tesla. I had made like 40 grand on Tesla. That kind of like changed my whole life. But the trade that made it click for me, I think I'm gonna have to go with probably Square. I think Square, I think I was trading Square consistently. And then I had realized like to hold my trades longer. Um, and I think that's when it kind of clicked for me that I really can do this. I know people hate on you and tell you to be. I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. I do have those people that like I've had people text me in my DMs and like, Jay, you need to be humble, you need to do that, you know. I literally don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm humble, but I literally don't care. And the reason why is because I'm not here. Like I make too much. Like, I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but I make too much money, guys. I'm not worried about nothing that nobody else saying. I became a trader to live my life and have fun with my life and my money and my people that I'm around. One thing I like about trading is trading has allowed me to, number one, I've always wanted to quit my job I always wanted to work for myself, always wanted to work for myself, right? Trading has allowed me to work for myself, wake up when I want to wake up, focus on just my fitness, take my family and people that I love to trips that they never been on, buying people things that they can never think to buy. It just has allowed so many things. So when people say things about trading or whatever, I can literally care less. And number one, I don't even show my face. So I don't see how I can be too flashy or too braggy because a lot of people don't even know what I look like. And the main reason is because I like to keep a low profile because I became a trader to keep that low profile and just live my life. It's pretty fun going into stores and people not really knowing like what you doing. Like you know what I'm saying? They don't even be knowing. Like if you see me in person on a day-to-day basis, you would not even know. You would not even know. You would not know. Cause I don't even like do all that. Now I do got the kicks, you know. I am starting a little Foot Locker in the closet or whatever. But overall, like I don't really do know. I have a simple life, guys. I keep telling you, I go to Walmart pretty much every day. I play the video game. Um, I be with friends and family. And yeah, I charge my Tesla. That's like all I do. Like I have a simple life. Yeah, I trip it. I eat Panda Express no more. You tried in trading. I tried in TOS as well, but Trading View is a lot clearer. Y'all got a girlfriend too. Y'all want to see her? I'm just saying, y'all ain't finna see her. Um, she low key too. You gotta have low key people. Yes, I'm gonna get a Hellcat with the 3K account challenge. My dog he low key too, y'all. My dog chill. My dog like me, bro. We be chilling. I do plan on getting a Lambo in the future. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do plan on getting a Lamborghini soon. But right now I'm gonna wait. I don't really like I'm trust me, I'm like low, like for me, I'm the type of person, guys. I chart with real quick so we don't get off topic. Let me start this recording too. I chart with after hours on or off, it doesn't matter. Just whichever one makes the charts look cleaner.